Okay, welcome back. We have the Stage 2 class here with us in the classroom, and we have some of you out there in the world. I'm still working on making this better, so everybody agreed here that they're going to be super patient with me, so I appreciate your patience as well. Okay, so we have a reading assignment. It says week 5, it should say week 6. I believe this is our 6th week of class, so that's my little typo. Everyone in class said they forgive me for that, so I hope you forgive me out there too. Thank you. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's take a look. So, if you're at home right now, you are watching the class videos on YouTube. So, follow along. You can give yourself a check mark. If you're in class right now, give yourself a check mark because you're doing that right now. First one, give yourself a check mark. See, basically I just made these lists so that you can give yourself check marks because it feels so good, right? Okay, check mark. Katya, we worked on that together, and those of you at home, you have a little package. We just worked on the first paragraph, so we did that. Give yourself a check mark. Again, see, you're on a roll. Let's keep going. Brainstorm, how do you feel about reading? We all did that here in class. Give yourself a check mark. Video, what counts as reading? We actually watched it in class. I cut it off for you folks online because I thought you can just go and watch the video. You don't need to watch a video of a video. So, give yourself a check. If you want to go and watch that again later, you surely can do that. Now, it says, read how to be a good reader. So if you flip open your package, you should see something that looks like how to be a good reader. It looks like this. And I always get the thing, I can't see that when you hold it up. So let's see. Looks like this. Okay. Everybody has it?
Yes.
Someone's still working on getting it. Maybe her package doesn't have it. Her package doesn't have it. What's going on? There it is! Okay. So let's just take a quick look at this handout. This is another one of those handouts that I always want you to just keep handy because these are questions to ask yourself when you're reading that will help you to be a good reader. I think sometimes with reading, we sometimes think that reading just means being able to say the words. And then we can say the words, and then we realize when we're done reading, we said all the words, but we have no idea what we read. Anybody had that feeling before? I sure have. Yeah. So we need to remember to ask ourselves a number of questions when we're reading. And one of them is thinking about the main idea and the details. And we'll do assignments about that yet. But the first thing on your how to be a good reader list says, ask yourself, what is this story mostly about? And what tells me more about the main idea? So asking yourself those questions will really help you while you're reading. Sequence. What does sequence mean? It's the sparkly stuff on a wedding dress. But what else? Can somebody read the questions for me? That gives us a clue.
What happens first, next, and last?
Yeah.
Steps to something.
Yeah, so sequence is all about order. So what order? Is this a reading that's happening in order? What's going on here? And then we have cause and effect, fact and opinion, compare and contrast. I'm not going to go over all of them. Make inferences. This is an important one for the assignment we're going to be working with now. What clues does the story give? What do I know already that will help? That's a huge one. Thinking about what you already know to help you understand. And the big one we're going to be working with today, and I think we're going to stop there, we won't read the rest of this right now, is what clues does the story give? Predictions. What do I already know that will help, and what will happen next? If we have a prediction mindset, if we go into a reading always thinking, what's going on here? What's going to happen next? I think this is going to happen. That really helps you to understand what you're going to read. Everybody say, yes, we believe you, Jamie.
Yes, we believe you, Jamie.
Wow, thank you. Woo! That's what I need, just for you guys to think I'm right. Okay, I'm just kidding. I think you'll see as we start doing this. Okay, then we brainstormed reading strategies. We did this together as a class. And we said that a strategy, you don't have a paper for this, but we said in class before with the stage 3s that a strategy means what?
Plan.
A plan. Yeah. And when we talked about the plan, we talked about maybe reading with a pencil in your hand and marking up the page, right? Underlining things you don't understand, right? We talked about pre-reading, So we talked about pre-reading, making predictions and guesses, and that's what this assignment is all about, that we're going to work on this week. And it's a little bit of a thick package, so if we need 2 weeks to do this, no big deal. In fact, that would be great for me because then I don't have to plan another new lesson for next week. Just kidding. I can do that. But, if you guys want to take 2 weeks on this, I'm totally good with that too. It's all about making sure you understand it and not rushing through an assignment. Okay? Nobody's in a race here. Everybody in this class has said we are not racing. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's too much pressure to be in a race. Yeah. Okay? So we're going to talk a lot about reading strategies, and we already did a brainstorm with that. So if we go down in our thing, we want you now to read the assignment description. So everybody look in their portfolio now, and you are looking at this page. Reading assignment 1, predict text using strategies, and it's on page 1 of your stage binder. This is the assignment we're working on. So this whole package is going to help you to complete one of those lines at the bottom of this page. Okay? So select a text. We're not there yet. That's going to be way at the end. But that's what they want us to do. First, we're going to do a bunch of practice. Okay? Make predictions about the text using the following steps. So make general predictions, identify reading strategies, read the text to determine whether your predictions were correct, and record the above in point form. Use the steps above to make additional predictions. And then it gives us a whole box of reading strategies, which are like, oh, wow, I've never thought about those before. So now we're going to take a little bit of time to think about what all of these strategies mean. And that's where I gave you guys a Quizlet for this week. So if you turn your next page in your packet, we're going to look at what do all of those words mean. It's a Quizlet glossary, so it should come right after how to be a good reader. And it looks like, I'm about to show you what it looks like. Looks like this. Everybody has that? Okay. So, the first strategy that we're going to practice is scanning. What does scanning mean?
Looking over something quickly.
Looking over something quickly. So in class before, someone mentioned skimming. So what's the difference between skimming and scanning?
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Does anybody know the answer to that question? What's the difference between skimming and scanning?
In scanning, you're just kind of looking over it, and skimming, you're actually reading a little bit.
Bingo. Yeah. But you know what's the great thing about what you just did? You asked the question, you said, I was going to ask, what is the difference? And then you thought about it, and you made yourself think, and then you came up with an answer. It would be okay if that answer was wrong too, because it shows me that you're thinking. All right, so that's great. So yes, so skimming, you're taking a little bit off. You're actually reading some of the words. Scanning, you're just looking very quickly, maybe for 1 or 2 words that you have in your mind that you want to jump out at you. Okay, so we're going to practice scanning right now. Everybody has their glossary in front of them. I'm going to call out a word, and you're going to scan and see if you can find that word. And when you do, bang your fist on your table, like this. Okay? And then I'm going to ask you, okay, well, what does that mean? And then you're going to read the definition. Are your fists ready? Everybody has a fist? All right. If you can get angry, this is a chance to get out all your anger from all the stuff that's going on in the world. Are you ready? Index. Okay, great. What does index mean? It's right here. What is an index?
Was I the only one that did it?
You're the only one. Yeah.
List of words from A to Z at the end of the book. It tells you what things are in the book and where you can find them.
Yeah. So I'm just grabbing this book and see if by any chance it has an index. It does not have an index. Are you guys familiar with an index? Does anybody have a book here? Now I need a book with an index. Let's see. Oh, chapter book probably won't have an index. An index is usually found in an information text. You know what is a really kind of book that has an index almost every single time?
Songbook?
Songbook? Yep.
Cookbook.
A want to learn to make, lady in pink? You want to make tomato soup, right? And you look at the front of the cookbook and you say, it says soups in the table of contents, but then you'd have to find, oh, well, where's the tomato soup? The easiest thing is to go to the back in the index, look for T for tomato, tomato soup, page 62. Okay? So, when you scan an index, it gives you a good idea about what you're going to find inside. Sometimes you'll find it, and sometimes you won't. Okay? But this kind of book, a chapter book, fiction, usually won't have an index because it's like a story, right? Has anybody used an index before?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? They're helpful,
Yeah,
right?
very helpful.
They're helpful. Yeah, awesome. Okay, you guys ready? Get your scanners ready. Previewing. Okay, someone's got extra angry over there. What does previewing mean?
Looking at something beforehand to get an idea about it.
Say what, yeah, keep going. E.g.
Watch the movie preview to help you decide if you want to watch the whole movie.
All right, so this is an example of previewing. I have this chapter book here. Heidi looks like a lonely girl. How many chapters are there? I don't know if I want to read this one. Oh wow, there's like 23 chapters. Well, at least it's kind of, bigger writing and kind of more spaced apart. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I'll start skimming, reading a little bit of it. I want to see Peter's mother. She's spinning. Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I could get into this. Okay? Previewing, just quickly looking through to see if it's something that you think is going to be a good fit for you. Okay, are you ready? E.g. She's in charge. She's going to beat her sister this time. What does E.g. mean?
Means for example.
Yeah, so anytime you see E.g., that means for example. Yep, they'll often use that to tell you for example. You ready? Scanning. We're going to let the lady in pink take it over there. Scanning, what you're doing right now. What is it?
Let something quickly to find specific information, e.g. using a phone book, find the name you are looking for by scanning down the list.
Yeah, so scanning is just a quick look, and usually we use scanning when we're looking for very specific information. So a good example is, like, let's say you're planning a fundraiser and you want to make a poster for that fundraiser for Mexican hamburguesas. You will put your important information in the middle with your date and your time and your place so that people can just scan. They just see the picture of the hamburguesa, they scan down, look for the date, place, time. Yeah, so scanning is you're just looking for that specific information. Sometimes we spend way too much reading everything when all we want to find is one piece of information. So scanning is a great way to try and pick out that one piece of information. Okay, articles. What are articles?
Pieces of writing in a newspaper or magazine. For example, I read an article in the newspaper about how to find a job.
Yes, excellent. Yep, so an article. When I say find an article, we're usually talking about newspaper, magazine, internet article, that kind of thing, right? Information. All right, we'll do one more. Text. Yeah?
Okay, I have no idea.
Let's give the person over here. Let's give the person over here a chance. Can you find text?
Text.
Use your brains, guys. Come on, you got this.
I don't know. Does I find it?